Howdy y'all, welcome back to Guns and Barbecue. So today, it's a video that some of you have been waiting for. We're going to go over the difference between my Wesson Specialist 1911 and 45 ACP and my Ruger SR 1911 and 10mm. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to start off with my Ruger SR 1911 10mm. The firearm holds 8+1 in the magazine. They're just plain Jane magazines. Comes with 2 of them. I believe they are actually labeled on the underside as 10mm. I've had this gun for several years now. Absolutely adore it. It was my EDC for quite a while, and it carries very well. The SR 1911 10mm came with black target sights, which some people knock on them, but I'm blind now, so I really don't use sights. However, I'm hoping to someday get one of those fancy red dot reflex sights and try that on a pistol and see if that doesn't help me. But going back to this, the target sights have windage and elevation adjustment, which is very nice. Personally, I would just like a good set of Novaks on here. I would like to try the TruGlow, I believe they're TRX or something like that sights, but those are a tritium night sight inside of a fiber optic, and I have no idea if I'd be able to see those at all, but I would like to, try, and this would be the perfect gun to try those on. Front sight is dovetailed in and is able to be removed and swapped out or adjusted, whatever needs to happen, same as the rear sight being dovetailed. There's no magwell, or extended magwell I should say, on this, but the magwell itself is slightly beveled, ever so slightly, but it's still something that they did, and a pretty nice little feature that will aid slightly with faster reloads. Front of the grip is smooth. Back of the grip, I believe these are just straight lines going straight down. I've always felt like the grip safety is a bit spongy, but not bad. Still pretty nice. Skeletonized trigger, skeletonized hammer. This has been safety checked, no magazine in it. If you feel the hammer, it's got some pretty good knurling on it. Makes for a positive grip when you are going to cock it. How about the safety? It's just a standard left side safety. I think it could be a little bit more positive of a click, but you've got a very nice audible click with it. But again, just a bit spongy, nothing terrible though. The slide itself, a little gritty. I never realized this though until I got my Wesson, but we'll get to that with the Wesson. Stainless steel barrel. It's got this black like nitride coating or something. There's people that actually just polish this coating off. That way the barrel matches the slide for the most part. You're not going to have a matte stainless finish, but it will still be a stainless barrel with your stainless firearm. It's going to have a full-length captured guide rod. Now, when I say captured, they include a little tool, which is basically a wannabe paperclip vent, and you put it in a little hole here, and then once you do that, you would release the slide stop, and it would stop the slide. Well, once you took out the slide stop lever, you could pull the slide all the way and all that good stuff. But so in a sense, it's a captured guide rod. It doesn't use a traditional barrel bushing or anything. Front of the trigger, it's got some straight lines. There is a little hole in the front of the trigger. I don't remember if I can actually adjust the trigger pull on this or not. But it's a 1911. It's got a absolutely delightful trigger pull. Yeah, slide serrations, they're there. They're not the sharpest, but they're not anything to scoff at either. They're, you know, they allow for a good positive grip and operation of your slide. Nothing on the front of the slide. This is a Series 70, not a Series 80. Yeah, so I think we just about covered everything with this one. So we will look at the Dan Wesson next. Alright, so now looking at my Dan Wesson Specialist in 45 ACP. This is my new baby. Absolutely love this gun. So phenomenal. Where do we start? Well, I guess we could start with the sights like on the 10mm. Now this is more like a Novak sight, just like on the Ruger. Front sight is able to be drifted in and out and or replaced because it's dovetailed. Rear sight is dovetailed in, but there's a nice ledge here on the rear sight. So if you wanted to do any reloads where you had limb incapacitated, you couldn't use a hand or something, you could put this on a ledge of some sort and do a one-handed reload, or shouldn't say reload, but one-handed charging of the firearm, which is actually really nice to have that option because you never know what you're going to run into, and the last thing you want to be is disabled in a firefight, but then to have your firearm go down on you and not be able to operate it, it's going to be a disaster at that point. Trigger is not skeletonized. I don't know how I feel about that, to tell the truth. Part of me likes it, the other part of me wishes it was skeletonized because the hammer is skeletonized as well. But, you know, you're nitpicking at that point. Very nice magazine release, which actually I didn't go over that on the Ruger, which actually feeling the Rugers, it's much more positive. I shouldn't say positive, but it's very stiff compared to my Dan Wesson. There's some checkering of some sort on the magazine release button as well. The knurling or checkering on the magazine release on the Dan Wesson is a lot sharper. I can definitely feel that. This has been safety checked, no magazine. I honestly think the knurling on the Ruger hammer is a bit more aggressive than on the Dan Wesson. Make of that what you will, but it's still very nice on the Dan Wesson. It can be cocked very easily. So, front of the trigger, again, you've got your little lines and whatnot, help with gripping that trigger with your finger. Front of the grip has square checkering. This is very grippy. But it's not grippy to the point where it's going to cut up your hands, but it's almost like holding on to sandpaper. Very, very nice. Absolutely love it. Same on the back side. Grip safety, very positive. Like I said on the Ruger, it seems a little bit spongy. Thumb safety, again, very positive. You still got that good audible click, but when you put this safety on, you know it. Not saying that you don't with the Ruger, but there is a difference. This is actually also an ambidextrous safety, so it can be operated with either hand. There's an extended magazine well with this firearm. This has great beveling and makes for really nice, easy feeding when doing your reloads. The magazine that it came with, I have no idea who makes them, but very comfortable in the hand. They have extended magazine plate on the butt of the magazine, which is also nice for the fact that you have the magazine well. It would be kind of goofy because you really have to force a magazine up home if it doesn't have that, and you have that extended magazine well in here. If you notice another thing here, this has a Picatinny rail on the front of it, so you can add accessories such as a light or a laser. I find that to be a very nice feature. If you notice, the guide rod does not stick out when this gun's cocked. That's because this has the GI guide rod, which is only, like half the length, and it's not captured. This uses the traditional barrel bushing lockup. Oh, and also on the top of the slide, which, yeah, the Ruger is just smooth on top of the slide. But this has some serrations on the top of the slide, cuts down with glare from sunlight. Slide serrations on this are good. I think they're probably slightly better on the Ruger, in my honest opinion. But again, neither one's going to be bad. I mean, you can grip them really nicely, run your slide, and that's where we'll get into the last part of this, is the slide. It's just so smooth. I didn't realize how rough my Ruger was until I had gotten my Dan Wesson. Now, there's something to be said here. I bought the Dan Wesson used, so for all I know, this could have had a couple thousand rounds put through it, and that smoothed out the slide. But I think part of it is just superior machining, things like that. Being as Dan Wesson makes, this 1911 that is $1,700, and when I bought my SR 1911, it was $800. So, in summary, which is the better gun? That's up to you. One is a Corvette. I'm gonna call the Dan Wesson the Corvette, and the other one is a Camaro or a Mustang. It really comes down to, do you want little refinements, and are those little refinements worth double the price to you? Personally, I absolutely love my Dan Wesson. If I had to pay $1,800 for it, brand new, there's no way I would ever got it. However, I paid $1,300 for it used, and it was too good of a deal to pass up. So, when you're talking about a deal like that, that's the whole reason I got it. But now that I do have it, man, I want another one. I will put that out there right now. But also another thing to keep in mind is the Dan Wesson 1911 is still only considered a mid-grade 1911. Heck, the Ruger is considered low to mid-grade among 1911 enthusiasts. Then you can start getting into Nighthawks, Ed Browns, there are a couple other manufacturers that I'm not thinking of at this point. But anyways, so for me, this is a high-end 1911 for me. But in the world of 1911s, mid-grade. For me, my SR 1911 I would call mid-grade, but in the world of 1911s, this is low to mid. So, let me know what you think. are those little refinements that the Dan Wesson has worth double the price, or would you just be happy with the Ruger? I'm fortunate enough to have them both. I love 1911s. I actually want to get Taurus 1911. I want to get Rock Island 1911. I want to get one from Smith & Wesson. I want to get a SIG. There's a lot of 1911s I want to get and do comparisons on, things like that. And those will come in time. But these are the two I have for now, and this is what we're doing the video on. So keep your guns firing, your smoker smoking. Please hit those like, share, comment, and subscribe buttons, and I will catch you all later.